Peter Parker was an ordinary 15-year-old from Queens, New York. Shy, bullied, and gifted in science, he lived with his loving Aunt May and Uncle Ben after losing his parents in a plane crash. His life changed forever during a school field trip to Oscorp, the corporation run by the brilliant but ruthless Norman Osborn. There, Peter was bitten by a genetically altered spider created during Oscorp's experiments with the mysterious Oz formula. The bite didn't kill Peter. Instead, it changed him. Overnight, he gained superhuman agility, the strength of 10 men, an enhanced healing factor, and the ability to cling to walls. At first, Peter saw these powers as an escape from being ordinary. He used them for fun, for personal gain, even to try to earn money in wrestling matches. But when Peter selfishly ignored a chance to stop a thief, and that same man murdered his beloved Uncle Ben, Peter's world shattered. From that tragedy, he swore to live by the words that defined him forever: "With great power comes great responsibility." From that day, Peter became Spider-Man. His first true enemy was Norman Osborn himself. Obsessed with recreating Peter's powers, Norman exposed himself to the Oz formula, transforming into the monstrous Green Goblin. Unlike Peter, Norman lost his humanity in the process. The Goblin became Peter's greatest enemy, a symbol of everything Peter could have become if he used power for selfishness instead of responsibility. Their battles would rage for years, destroying lives and leaving scars Peter would never heal from. As Spider-Man, Peter's world expanded quickly. He faced villains born from science, greed, and obsession: Electro, the Kingpin, Dr. Octopus, Kraven the Hunter, Sandman, and Venom, a monster tied directly to his father's unfinished experiments. Some were defeated easily, others nearly killed him. But what made Peter different was that he fought not for glory or vengeance, but because no one else could. At home, Peter's personal life was just as complicated. His bond with Mary Jane Watson deepened into young love, though it was often tested by fear, secrets, and danger. Gwen Stacy, who came to live with Aunt May after her father's death, became another part of Peter's makeshift family. Even Johnny Storm of the Fantastic Four found a home with them for a time. When Aunt May eventually discovered Peter's secret, Peter feared she'd turn away from him. But instead, she offered understanding, compassion, and unshakable support. For the first time, Peter didn't feel alone carrying his burden. But Norman Osborn never let go of his obsession. Again and again, he returned from the shadows, each time more dangerous, each time more personal. His son Harry, Peter's best friend, suffered most. Torn between love for his father and horror at what he had become, Harry lived in Norman's shadow. Eventually, Harry inherited part of the Goblin's legacy, transforming into the Hobgoblin. But unlike his father, Harry wasn't consumed by power. He wanted to end the madness, to stop Norman for good. When Norman gathered a team of killers, Electro, Sandman, Vulture, Kraven, and Dr. Octopus, and launched his final war against Peter, Harry intervened. The battle between father and son was brutal. Harry fought not only for Peter, but for his own freedom from Norman's control. In a moment of tragic defiance, Harry hurled himself against the Goblin, but Norman's strength was overwhelming. He murdered Harry in cold blood, right in front of Peter. For Peter, it was another devastating loss, a reminder that everyone close to him was a target. But Peter didn't break. He carried on, bloodied and grieving, into the fight of his life. The Six attacked him in Queens, right outside his home. Electro was the first to fall, short-circuited in a desperate gamble. Sandman was contained, Vulture beaten, Kraven outmaneuvered. Dr. Octopus never made it far. Osborn himself killed him, seeing him as weak. One by one, Peter dismantled the team, fighting through pain, exhaustion, and wounds that would have killed a normal man. And then, it was just Peter and Norman. The Goblin and the Spider clashed one final time in the streets of Queens. Houses burned, cars exploded, and terrified neighbors fled. Peter was already mortally injured, but he fought with a fury he had never shown before. Every punch, every web, every desperate move was for his family, for Aunt May, for Mary Jane, for Gwen, for Harry, and for Uncle Ben. The battle was apocalyptic. Norman's strength seemed endless, fueled by rage and obsession. But Peter refused to give in. At last, in one final act of defiance, Peter struck with everything he had, bringing the Goblin crashing down. As the monster fell, Peter collapsed in front of his home, surrounded by those he loved. His body broken, his breathing shallow, he looked at Aunt May and Mary Jane and managed a smile. "I did it," he whispered. "I couldn't save Uncle Ben, but I saved you." And with that, Peter Parker, the ultimate Spider-Man, died in the arms of his family. He was only 16. But his sacrifice meant more than his short life ever could. To the people of Queens, to his friends, to the world, Peter Parker proved that being a hero was never about power. It was about responsibility, sacrifice, and love. And though Peter was gone, his example inspired others to rise, including a boy named Miles Morales, who would take up the mask and carry the legacy of Spider-Man forward.